Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Torrential Tom. I am your host, Torrential Tom, here with a quick update on the incoming winter storm for tomorrow into Wednesday. So as we always do, a look at the current surface weather around the United States, and the big player for us, as predicted or as forecasted, the low pressure system has shifted from northern Texas into Missouri, and there is a large swath of frozen precipitation to the north of it. And then we have rain, a large swath of rain to the east and to the south of it. We even have some severe weather and tornado watches along the southern edge of the storm. So we move forward in time here, and one of the tools we use to forecast a storm's motion is by dissecting levels of the atmosphere. So this is actually 3.5 miles up from the surface. This is looking at the jet stream at 500 millibars. So this will show us where our waves are. We could pick out low and high pressures. We could also pick out the directions of storms by also looking at other elements other than the jet stream as well. So we look here, we can see our waves, we can see our troughs, we can see our ridges, we can see our high pressures, we can see our low pressures, and another high pressure over here. So looking ahead, this is basically the same general map from the previous slide, but this is adding the contours that are showing the low and high pressures. So again, here's your trough. Here's your ridge in here. And then you can see your low pressures. And then we have our high pressures. So one here and one in the Atlantic Ocean. And then we have a low pressure that is off the Nova Scotia, Newfoundland coast. So by looking at this, the pathway from where our current low pressure system is sitting, it has no choice but to travel along the jet stream to the east with a little northward motion. And that's due to the blocking of these two high pressures to its northwest and to its southeast. So we go ahead, and as forecasted, the forecast models are showing the same general idea, a weakening low pressure into western New York. We have a low pressure system forming off the Delmarva Peninsula, which is actually going to deepen and follow the jet stream due east. And a lot of the energy from this weakening low pressure is going to be transferred to this one off the coast, which is going to limit our precipitation. It's also, between these two low pressures, going to have some warm air infiltrate our area, which is going to transition us from snow to a mix and possibly over to a finish of rain. So we move ahead. That low pressure, which was off the Delmarva, as I showed, is now moving due east. And then we have our next system, the one I mentioned from previous videos this week, the one that could provide a major impact, which is going to be sitting right here. And then a stronger low is going to be developing off the Carolina coast. Again, we have our high pressure up here to the north, creating a lot of blocking. And then we have our high pressure here to the south. So the only pathway for this system is not going to be up north, as it will be blocked. It is going to be out to the east. So that is not going to be the track that's going to give us a significant storm, and we will be lucky to even see a couple flurries from this thing. So we move to tomorrow's situation, and this is tomorrow noontime, and I have a little area here circled, and it's marked with the word virga. Virga is precipitation that's shown off the radar, but it's not actually reaching the ground. So we forecast this by looking at Skew-T diagrams. And what we have here is we have a line here, the green line, that shows the moisture throughout our atmosphere, and that is our dew point. We also have the red line, which is our current temperatures or our forecast temperature. When these two are not around the same number, that means the temperature around the surface or the moisture is too dry. So this precipitation is falling from the cloud and it's actually evaporating before it hits the ground. That is virga. We move later in the afternoon when the snow will actually be visible outside your windows, and you can see these two numbers, two temperatures, are close to each other. So the moisture or the surface has moistened up more, the atmosphere is moistened up more, and it is conducive for the snow to reach the ground. As I mentioned, we're going to have some mixing issues tomorrow. We start with northeast New Jersey. This is late afternoon. So this line right here represents our freezing line, our freezing temperature. And although our surface temperature is actually below freezing, there's a little part of the atmosphere where the temperature is going to be above freezing. So the frozen pellets are actually going to melt in this area here, around a kilometer above the surface. And then it's going to go below freezing again, right below the surface, or right before the surface, which is going to produce sleet, possibly freezing rain if it does not get fully over, but the ground is below freezing. So upon contact with the ground, that rain pellet will actually freeze. I mentioned before we're going to have our two low pressures, which are going to be causing warmer air to infiltrate. So a low pressure has a counterclockwise direction of winds. So we're going to have a motion like this and a motion like this. So the warmer temperatures from the Atlantic Ocean are actually going to be infiltrating Long Island, New York City. And then from our west, the weakening low pressure is actually going to be bringing in some warmer temperatures from southwest Pennsylvania, West Virginia, DC, southern Pennsylvania. And that's shown here by the next image, where we have temperatures above freezing for southern Connecticut into Westchester, southern Rockland, most of northeast New Jersey, and then all the 5 boroughs of New York. Taking all that into consideration and the virga to start the storm, the southern part of the local area, all green, mostly rain. The light blue area is going to be your trace to 1 inch zone. Purple is going to be your 1 to 3 inch area, where we're going to see the changeover from snow to sleet to freezing rain. And then the purple area is going to be your 3 inch area, and the jackpot winner with the storm is going to be further north, where areas could see 4, 5, 6 plus inches of snow. In summary, all the local area under winter weather advisory, we're going to be experiencing below average temperatures through the weekend once this low pressure system passes by. Snow begins tomorrow between 2 and 3 p.m., and a stormy pattern is going to follow into next week, as we have a couple shots of precipitation, and I will be watching that closely for you. Please follow me on Twitter at Torrential Tom, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Everybody be safe. I will provide another update Friday or into the weekend. Have a good night.